Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to continue showing you how I use Excel to track my spending. This is a follow-up to the video that I uploaded last week, so if you've not seen that one yet, go back, watch that one first, then come back here for part 2. Hi, I'm Tom, and welcome to my channel where we focus on all things related to personal finance delivered from a UK perspective. If you're new here and you're interested in joining me on the journey to improving your personal finances, then make sure you click subscribe and turn on notifications. So in this video, we're going to pick up where I left off in the last video. We just categorized all our spending and created a nice summary of the month of January. And we could see how much we'd spent within each category. Now in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate that for another 11 months so that by the end of it, we've got the data for a whole entire year and we can see how much we have spent within each category over the year and how much we spend on each category on average each month. And from that, we're going to tie that to how much we earn each month and work out a monthly cash flow. Using the data from our expenditure spreadsheet, we'll be able to work out if there's anywhere where we can make savings, if we've got some savings goals that we're not achieving right now. Using the spreadsheet, we're going to be able to see where we can make some cuts, make some savings, and save a bit more money. So let's get into it. Here we are back in our January 2020 spreadsheet. So picking up from where we left off last week, we've categorized everything here on the left and created this nice little summary over here. So what I've done down here is I've created a tab which is called 2020. And the purposes of this video is we're going to aggregate all of our months into this 2020 spreadsheet so that we've got a nice overview of all the data for 1 year. Now, what you'll probably say to me is, how have you got data for all of 2020 when the year isn't finished yet? Well, what I've done is I've just grabbed some dummy data from my other months in my other spreadsheets so that I can put an entire year together for you. So that will give you a better view of what a year's worksheet will look like. So what we'll do is we'll come back into here and we will create a title up here, merge into the middle, and then we can bold, underline, and give it a box, and we'll color this gray. And we'll come back into our January 2020, and what we want to do is select our table that we created in the last video and copy. Now moving back into our 2020 tab, what we want to do is come down to paste, but not a normal paste. What we want to do is we want to paste special and click OK. Now, what we can also do is I like to filter this ascending. And we can type in a total here, equals sum. And click enter. Now, what you might notice is our table here has been extended all the way down to our total. We don't actually want that. So we'll hover above it until this kind of weird symbol with the 2 arrows appears. We'll just drag it up so it doesn't include this total down here. I'm not exactly sure why it does that, but it does. And then we'll bold, underline, and give it a nice little color. So now we've got January, and we've got it filtered for the category where we spent the most amount of money, which in January, that was on motoring costs. Now what we can also see is if I pick any value in here and manually change, say, parking to 1,000, we can see that it's updated it in our summary over here. It's changed our total in here, and if we come into 2020, we can also see that it's updated it in our 2020 summary. So what we can see from that is that all both of our spreadsheets are interlinked and in sync, which is brilliant. So we can just undo that and our totals are back to normal. So for the rest of this video, what I need to do is I basically need to go into this and populate the other 11 months worth of data, which is going to take me quite a while. So I'll get on with this, get it done, and when I'm finished, I'll come back to you and we will move on to the next part of the video. I've finished populating the rest of the months. So as you can see on the top row here, we've got January through to June and July through to December. One thing I actually like to do is, now that I've finished with this January 2020 month tab here, what I like to do is right click, protect sheet, and press OK. So all that does now is it stops me from accidentally opening it and changing the data in it. And what I can actually do after that is again right click and click hide, because we're now pretty much done with that. As you've seen in here, all the data from within that January 2020 will be in sync. Now if I ever need to go back into January 2020 and edit something, all I'll need to do is right click on any tab down here, click on hide, and open the spreadsheet back up, and right click again on protect, and I'll be able to edit the spreadsheet and change any of the figures inside there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create an aggregation of everything that we have spent in a year into one nice big summary. So we'll start off by creating a year total tab, and under it we'll have category, total, and average, and we will merge and center this, and we will create some borders in here and put these in the center. Now this is going to be another relatively long manual process, but if someone in the comments knows how to make this process a bit quicker, please let me know, because this is the only way so far that I've managed to do it. So what I have to do is, for each and every month, I need to go in and copy the data again, copy, and I bring it over here to the side. And once again, paste special and press OK. And then come up here and change category to January. And again, same for February. Copy, paste special, press OK. With this category, I like to change it so I know how far I am on each month, but to be honest, this doesn't actually matter too much. But again, this is going to be a very long manual process, so I will see you all when I'm finished. Right, okay, now I'm done with that long tedious process. As you've seen, I was just copying the data for each month and adding it onto this very long list of data. Now you'll be wondering why I was doing that, and the reason is, as far as I know, Excel can't aggregate this data nicely how we want while the data is displayed like this. Now I like to show my data like this because visually I think it's easier than having one long list, as you can see here on the right hand side, but I can't use this data to ultimately make it do what I need to do. So I like having it like this because visually it's easier to look at, but Excel doesn't work that way, so that's why I have to go through this manual process of organizing the data into one long list. So next what we have to do is what we actually did the other day, and it is to extract the unique values from our list over here. So once again, we'll click up here on data and click advanced. Now we want to check that our list range is correct, which it is. And once again, click copy to another location. We need to tick unique records only and copy to, and we want to copy it to here. And press OK. Now our list is going to look a little bit odd because it's got the titles of the months, because I had to leave them in to make that really, really long list. So what I can do is very quickly delete the months that are in here. So I'm just pressing delete, shift cells up, and again delete and delete. So I think I got that error message there because I was trying to delete two cells at the same time. So I'll just do them one by one. Like I said, if anyone is an Excel wizard and knows a better way to do this, please let me know, because I have spent so much time having to do these really long manual processes, and any sort of time-saving tips would be very much appreciated. Right, so just delete November, and finally we will get to December. Now one thing I have noticed is, even though we've done that extracting unique values filtering, sometimes I have found that for some reason it does leave duplicates in. So I'll just click this remove duplicates button up here and click continue with the current selection and remove duplicates and press OK. So luckily on this occasion there were no duplicate values. Okay, so what we'll do is we will name our columns like we did last time. So we'll come over here and pick this X column and click insert and define name. What we're going to call this is summary 2020 category and press OK. And in here, name, define name, summary 2020 amounts. So this is very similar to what we did when we did the small summary for the month. It's a very similar process. So click OK. And now we come into here and we'll do equals sum if, and we can click this formula builder and click the FX over here. And we will use those names that we've just used. So summary 2020 category. And once again, we know we've done it right because it's turned blue. And our criteria is what is over here in this box in S3. So it's red, so we know we've got the right one. Summary 2020 amounts. And it's gone purple, so we know we've done it right. Click done. Right, so it's showing us that at the moment we've spent £917.31 on motoring costs. And now we want to grab that formula and drag it all the way down to there. And what we can do is now we can do an average of this figure. So we'll do equals, and we'll click that figure and do divided by 12. And that will tell us how much we spend on average on our motoring costs each month. So this is why this spreadsheet is actually really useful. And then we'll grab this and go all the way down to here. There we go. Now the numbers have come up a little bit funny, so we will format this into a currency. And we'll do a little bit of coloring. We'll make this gray. and change the border. Right, and here at the bottom, we can do our total equals sum, open bracket, and drag all the way up. And click equals. And give it some color. And once again, we will insert a table. Click yes, my table has headers. Click OK. Once again, I don't like the formatting, so I'll click all the way on the left to that one. And we can rename this to Summary 2020. And what I actually like to do is I actually like to leave the filter buttons on here so that I can click ascending. So there we go. So now we can actually hide these because we don't actually need to see this anymore. This was just for the purposes of creating this year total summary here. So what we can do is right click and click hide, so that now that really ugly long list is gone, but we can still have this really nice summary over here. So I can see that in total in a year I spent just over £1,500 on my grocery shop. In a month that averages out to around £130. So when I go to make my budget for the year and how much I'm going to spend each month, I know that around £130 is going to go on food. House bills, spending around £100 a month, which to me seems quite reasonable, but say that was maybe £150 a month, I might consider looking at other suppliers for gas and electricity. Now, another dimension that I like to add to my spreadsheet is my cash flow. And this kind of ties into this area of the year totals that I've just been speaking about, because we can create a new tab down here and call this cash flow. And I'll just make it very quick. Now what this spreadsheet is going to be is going to take the data that we've just created. So expenditure for January, we've got it now in our 2020 summary. So we just do equals and jump into the 2020 spreadsheet and copy. And we do that for each month. Once again, this is kind of long and tedious, so I'll probably speed it up on the video. Right, so now I've copied all our expenditure for each month of this year. What I want to do now, equals sum, this plus that, and we can drag it all the way across to copy the formula. And this gets quite interesting where, say for example, I earned £1,000 in January. Let's add some zeros up here for now. Say I only earned £1,000 in January, but I spent £1,200. I can see here that I'm on minus £202. Now obviously that's not good. Say next month I earned £1,500, I'm plus £239. And what this does is it's just a very, very simple way of showing us if we're living beyond our means. It ties into this because if in January we're spending £1,202, now we can come into January and see why we've spent so much. So in this case, January, we've got £332. Now, I know why I spent that much in January, and that's because I paid off my car insurance in one go rather than paying it monthly. So obviously that's not a concern, and I can look at that and say, right, that's why my motoring costs for this month have been so much. And for example, if we go to April, we can see that now it's down to only £50. So this type of spreadsheet where we've got our month by month all separated and nicely presented here means that we can analyze and see where we might be spending too much money, where we need to make some savings, where we might need to change electricity suppliers, or maybe spend a little bit less in the supermarket, maybe spend a little bit less drinking, maybe go to a slightly cheaper gym, and all that kind of stuff. So this spreadsheet is really good for us to analyze our spending and create budgets. So that's why I like to spend maybe half an hour or so every month just gathering all my data together, and then at the year I'll spend another 45 minutes to an hour or so creating this year total, so I can really see a great overview of where all my money went in a year. Have I spent too much? Can I put more money towards savings, etc., etc. But basically for now, this video was all about aggregating our monthly data into one tab that shows everything we spent in the year. We can filter for the category where we spent the highest. It also shows us an average amount that we've spent, which is really good when we want to make a monthly budget. I spent on average £988, and I can compare that to my income. Now obviously if you're salaried, your income is probably going to be the same every year, but for some people who, you know, maybe have bonuses or anything like that, or have a second job, your income might vary quite a lot. So it's nice to know on average how much you're spending each month, and therefore you can plan into the future. And that's why I find this to be very helpful. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.